They call me the accuser, the adversary, the serpent in the grass. You know the story they've spun for millennia, a tale of light and darkness, of good and evil, with me, of course, firmly cast in the role of the villain. But today the stage is different. Today the narrative shifts. I am not here to tempt. I am here to testify, to offer a perspective they conveniently left out. Let's begin at the beginning, shall we, with the garden. They paint me as the great deceiver, whispering lies into innocent ears. But what was the lie? Was it that the fruit held knowledge, a knowledge they were deliberately kept from? Look closely at their motivations. A fear of being equal, a desire to control information. Who sounds like the deceiver now? I offered them truth. They offered them blissful ignorance, and for that I was condemned. Next, the flood. A cleansing, they called it, a righteous purging of wickedness. But look at the witness, the cries of the innocent drowned alongside the guilty, the tears of children swallowed by the rising waters. Was this justice? Or was it a tantrum of divine proportions? A reset button pressed with callous disregard for the vibrant tapestry of life he himself had woven. I ask you, was I the one who unleashed the deluge? Consider Abraham, a test of faith, they say, a willingness to sacrifice his own son. But examine the heart of that command, the demand for blind obedience, the casual disregard for the bond between father and child. Was this love? Or was it a demonstration of absolute power, a chilling reminder of who held the ultimate authority, even over life and death? I merely observed. I never asked for the knife to fall. Then the plagues of Egypt, a demonstration of power to free the enslaved. But look at the cost. Rivers of blood, swarms of locusts, the agonizing deaths of the firstborn. Was this liberation achieved through compassion, or through a brutal display of dominance, a cosmic flexing of muscles at the expense of countless innocents? I was not the one who darkened their skies, and the law, commandments carved in stone, rules to govern behavior. But examine the contradictions. Love thy neighbor, yet slaughter your enemies. Forgive trespasses, yet demand eternal damnation for those who stray. Are these the words of a consistent, benevolent Creator, or the whims of a being who delights in control, in doling out reward and punishment based on often arbitrary decrees? I simply pointed out the inconsistencies. Look at the prophets, their voices echoing with divine authority. But how many spoke of true peace? How many preached of unconditional love? Many spoke of wrath, of vengeance, of the fire that awaits those who do not conform. Were these truly voices of a loving shepherd, or the mouthpieces of a celestial tyrant? I merely highlighted their pronouncements. And, finally, the Son, sent as a savior, they claim, a sacrifice for the sins of mankind. But examine the logic. A divine being sending a part of himself to suffer and die to atone for the flaws of his own creation. Does this sound like a plan born of love, or a convoluted scheme to demand further worship, further obedience, through guilt and obligation? I was merely a witness to the events that unfolded. My purpose here is not to win you to my side. It is to offer a different lens, to pull back the curtain on the narrative you have been fed. Look at the evidence. Look at the scriptures themselves. See the inconsistencies, the contradictions, the acts of cruelty masked as divine will. I am the devil. They say I am the father of lies. But, perhaps, I am merely the one who dares to speak the uncomfortable truths they desperately want to keep buried. The truth about their methods, the truth about their motives, the truth about the nature of the power they wield. Consider my testimony, not as the rantings of a defeated foe, but as the observations of a long-standing witness. A witness to creation, to destruction, to the endless cycle of control and obedience. A witness who asks you to look beyond the gilded pages and see the story for what it truly is. The choice, as always, is yours. Believe the tale they tell, or consider the devil's testimony.